So in a previous video, I asked you all to recommend me a credit card to apply for to cover my car repairs, which ended up being about $3,000, kind of crazy for just a little dent. And of course, true to my word, whatever comment had the most likes, I would go ahead and apply for that card using your referral link. The person who recommended that card was Anthony Venture.
Show how shiesty I really am.
And he graciously allowed someone else to share the referral link. How kind of him. So let's get it started. This is me applying for the Chase Ink Unlimited based on subscriber recommendation with a credit score of 750 and a 24 status, 9 hard pulls. I applied for a car loan recently, my payment history is 100%, and my credit utilization is under 30%. Alright, so as you all know from the live stream, I did use Tommy's referral link. Hopefully it'll give me a little bit of luck. So when you use a Chase Ink business referral link, it'll take you to this page where it'll show all their Chase Ink products onto one page. And it's just kind of a comparison, making sure which card you want to apply for. And just make sure everything is correct, the welcome bonus is what you're expecting, and then just go ahead and click on apply now. And as many of you all know, I don't have an official business. This is an individual thing. It's just a sole prop because you don't need an official business to apply for a business credit card. And in my case, since I'm just an individual, my authorizing officer title is just owner. And then of course type in your first name, so Calby, C-A-L-B-Y, middle name, don't have one, last name NG, don't have a suffix meaning, you know, third, junior, the second. There's no Calby the second, I am the first. And then just your date of birth. Hopefully you know all this information already. You'll want to type in your mother's maiden name. It's just for a security reason. And then just type in your personal social security number. Now, if you don't have a social security number, you can type in your individual tax ID number. Just type in your personal address. After that, type in your email address where you want all the information from your Chase Ink business card to go to. Same thing with the phone number. You can either type in your business phone number if you have one, or a personal phone number works just as well. And now it'll ask you your total gross annual income. And this is kind of like what you would put on a personal credit card application. Not yet your business income. Of course, you can include that into your gross annual income, but it's also going to be the money that you make from your 9 to 5, or if your spouse makes money from a 9 to 5 or a different method, you can also include it into this calculation for most states. But very rarely, they even ask you for proof of income. Of course, that's not financial advice. It's just what I've done in my personal credit card application. I'm just speaking from my experience. Take of that what you will. You're gonna help me apply for a credit card? What do you think? Do you think I'm gonna get approved? So in my personal situation, my total gross annual income for my whole household is $90,000. And then for the section legal business structure, of course, like I said, I'm an individual, so I'm gonna be selecting sole prop. And if you're not sure what your business structure is, it's probably a sole prop, because to apply to be an S Corp or a C Corp or a LLC, there is a lot of paperwork that you have to do before you can even qualify for that business structure. So if you don't remember doing that or even have the paperwork for it, you're probably a sole prop. And then for my legal business name, I'm going to put Calby NG because that's the name of this channel. But if you're going to be applying it under your individual personal name, just go ahead and type in your name. It doesn't really matter if you have an official business. Now that was for the business legal name. You can also type in a desired business name that appears on the card. So maybe you applied for a business name saying like Disney XV something VIX, right? You don't want that to appear on the card. You just want Disney to appear on the card. So you can just type in Disney as your desired business name on the card, even though it's different from the legal name that you put onto your documents, if that makes any sense. So your legal name is what you put on the documents. Your desired business name is whatever you want to appear on the card. And then it asks, does your business use another name like a trade name, assuming name, or doing business as? And you're your sole prop or individual, you'll probably click on no, but if you're not a sole prop, hopefully you will know this information. And then after that, it will ask you about your tax ID type. Now, if you do have an EIN, that's great. You can just go ahead and type that in. But if you don't have an EIN and you just have your social security number, that's completely fine too. You just want to click down and then select social security number and then just type in your personal social security number. After you're done with that, it'll ask you, is your business physical address the same as your personal address? Of course, if you have a business address, you can go ahead and type that in. But if you're a sole prop, I'm assuming it's probably going to be the same as your personal address. You can just click on yes, and then it'll automatically fill it out for you. you. Next, it'll ask you how many employees you have, not including yourself. So if it's just you, a one-man operation, then you just put in 0. Of course, if you have any other employees, don't include yourself, and then just start from 1 to however many employees you have. And then after that, it asks you for a business phone number. Of course, if you don't have a business phone number, that's completely fine. Just type in your personal phone number, works just the same. Now, this next section gets a little bit harder, a little bit more information needed. Like, for example, when did you establish your business? Now, you can start from when you officially, started working on your business. There's no real need to go by the official date unless you really want to. Like you applied for an LLC on paper, you can go with that date. For me, in my individual business, when I first started this YouTube channel, my first video went out November 2021. So that's the date I'm going to be putting on my application. And of course, a longer date that you have on your Chase application, the better chances that you'll probably be approved for a business credit card. And then for your annual business revenue. Now for this section, you can either put your projected business income, so you can take the money that you're making now and just make it linear. So let's say, for example, that you're making $1,000 a month, just times it by 12, you're making $12,000 a year. Or you can take last year's numbers, whatever you made last year, you can expect to make that much money. And then if you're making a little bit extra money, then just estimate it based on that. Of course, not financial advice. This is just what I've been doing for my personal business applications. And now for the business category, I just copied whatever Spencer Johnson and Anthony Venture put on their applications. So they put information, internet broadcasting, IG, social network, and then internet broadcasting social network for the business subtype. Of course, not all y'all have the same business category as I would have. Just choose the closest category that matches your business. And then after you're done with that, it will automatically populate the NAICS code, so you don't have to worry about that. And then you want to type in your estimated monthly spend. Now, you don't want to go crazy with this because you want to make sure that you can pay back your credit card. So personally for me, I do want to put a little bit of spend, so I'm going to be putting $1,000 for my monthly spend. Not too crazy, but not too low. Finally, it'll ask you if you want any employee cards, just basically authorized user cards that you can give your employees. Of course, I don't have any employees and I don't necessarily want to give it to my player 2, so I'm going to click on no. It doesn't really make a difference in your application in my opinion. And it'll ask you if you want to go paperless. Of course, it doesn't really make that much of a difference in your application. And then just go over the terms. Now, if you don't read over all the terms, I completely understand, but just check over some things like the APR is correct, the annual membership fee is correct and what you're expecting. And just overall, make sure that the card you're applying for is the card that you want. Now, I've definitely heard a lot of stories that people apply for credit cards and accidentally click on the wrong one, so just double check that. Read over the certifications, and then after you're done with that, click that I read and agree to the above, and then click on submit. And then it's just a waiting game at this point. Now, it usually doesn't take that long, but this is the part of the credit card application that kind of gives that gambler's high. Whether or not you'll be approved, you'll be like filled with adrenaline and dopamine. But if you're denied, you might have a fight or flight response. And unfortunately, I wasn't approved. That's kind of weird because I see so many other credit card YouTubers getting approved for the Chase Inc. versions over 524, so that shouldn't be the case. I thought my credit score profile was kinda decent-ish, right? It wasn't terrible. Thank you for your request. Unfortunately, we couldn't approve your application. We'll provide more detailed information explaining our decision by US mail in 7 to 10 days. So I did get that 7 to 10 day denial, so it's probably for sure a locked in denial, but let's see what the denial letter says. All right, so I'm back. I just finished putting my equipment away, but in Chase fashion, they forced me to put it back up because I got my denial letter in my notice and letter section. So let's hear what it has to say. All right, so it says, Dear Calbying, thank you for applying for the new Chase Visa Signature business card account. We reviewed your personal and business information and we were unable to approve your account at this time. We know this isn't the answer you're hoping for. No, it's definitely not. And we would like to give you more information about our decision. We based our decision on the following reasons. Number of recent account opens on credit report. Well, I don't think it's that much. It's 8 in 2 years and other people have been approved for it. So I don't know why that's a reason. business structure. Like I said, I've seen a lot of other people apply for the Chase Ink Unlimited under just a sole prop or individual business, so I don't think that's the reason. And an inefficient business deposit relationship with us, and of course I don't think that's true, because if you all seen Anthony Venture's video where he went in branch to argue his denial letter, this is probably not a legitimate reason. But I am going to see if I can get it overturned by calling the Chase reconsideration line. So in the next video, let's call the Chase reconsideration line and see if it makes any difference, and I'll see you later.